Tennessee Williams was an American playwright, screenwriter, and poet. He was born in Columbus, Mississippi on March 26, 1911. He had a brother and a sister, Rose, who soon showed signs of mental illness. In 1929, he began to attend college, but without much success. In 1938, he graduated from the University of Iowa, but in the same year, his sister was placed in a psychiatric hospital and then lobotomized. Williams never forgave his mother for consenting to the operation, and he had a deep sense of guilt toward Rose. During the 1930s in California and on his trips to the United States, Williams had relationships with men. Contrary to what was believed for years, he never had any problem accepting his homosexuality, as deduced from his memoirs. The year after his graduation, he won, thanks to his American Blues Act, the Rockefeller Foundation Award. In 1943, he signed a contract with MGM, which bound him for 6 months to write a screenplay. Here, he became aware that he was not comfortable with the rhythms of Hollywood, and he returned to the theater, writing The Glass Menagerie, his first success. Then he wrote A Streetcar Named Desire, that premiered on Broadway with Jessica Tandy and Marlon Brando. In the meantime, he had a love story with Frank Marlowe, from 1947 to 1963, where Marlowe died for lung cancer. This relationship gave a long period of stability to Williams, but the death of his partner plunged the writer into a period of depression that led him to alcoholism. Tennessee Williams was found dead in his room of the Elysee Hotel in New York on February 25, 1983. The Glass Menagerie, set in 1930, talks about the last memory of Tom Winfield with his family. His mother Amanda, a woman from the southern state, obsessed with the life of her children since her husband left, and Laura, crippled and insecure, close in an illusory world made of music, and whose only concern is a small glass zoo led by a unicorn. Tom works in a shoe factory, but his life is so monotonous that he tries a career as a poet, failing and fleeing to the cinema at any hour. One day his mother discovered that her daughter left the secretarial course, and her obsession reached extreme levels, so much so that she started to find her a husband, forcing Tom to introduce her to a friend, Jim. The woman gives herself to prepare the dinner, but Laura will not attend because she discovered that Jim is her old acquaintance from high school. During dinner, the electricity goes out, and Amanda makes the two guys talk with an excuse. Slowly, Jim overcomes Laura's reluctance, and they dance together. However, with a sudden movement, Jim drops the glass unicorn and breaks the urn. He suddenly kisses Laura, confessing that he is already engaged to another girl. Laura gives him the unicorn as a wedding present, and as soon as Amanda and Tom come back, Jim's leaves. The woman immediately attacks Tom, accusing him of knowing everything but hiding it, and chasing him out of the house. In the final soliloquy, Thomas explained that after that night he left the two women for good, even though their memory had tormented him all his life. Various theatrical performances and 3 film adaptations have been made for this work. The first dates back to the black and white version of 1950 by Irving Rapper. Another one is the 1973 version by Anthony Hervey, while the last one dates back to 1987 by Paul Newman. In this last version, the director was as faithful as possible to the novel, but without falling into a literal adaptation. In fact, Newman tried to respect the original division into 7 acts, and most importantly, he keeps the original dialogue and monologue, by inserting only a few synonyms where he wanted the dialogue to be more fluid. He also inserted all the narrative scenes in his adaptation. All these elements make that if you watch the film with the book in hand, it seems like you have subtitles. A substantial difference is made by the music, because the whole work is based on a custom musical background, but which is missing in the adaptation, leaving only a few hints in some scenes. Another cut that penalized the film concerned the end of scene 3, when after a furious quarrel with his mother, Tom, grabbing his coat, violently strikes his sister's display of glass animals. The book clearly states that Lara covers her face and shouts the word "My glass menagerie." In the film, however, the protagonist simply wins as she is put in the foreground, and this penalizes the emphasis on Lara's obsession with her small glass world. The Glass Menagerie addresses important themes such as memory, fate, and family abandonment. It is a text strongly autobiographical, and in the work we can see various references to the other life. The main character bears his own name, Tom, abbreviation of Thomas. Laura's character is based on her sister Rose, and it is represented by the nickname Blue Rose. Moreover, in Lara, introversion and shyness represent Tennessee Williams in the years of his youth, and the girl's obsession with the glass zoo symbolize the dreams of the other as a young man. Through these autobiographical elements, there is the theme of the memory, a constant throughout the play that is highlighted in the protagonist's monologue. Another fundamental theme is the search for freedom and the confinement that both the protagonist and his family feel. Tom feels confined to a job that is not exciting, confined in a small apartment with his family and unable to see the world. Amanda is confined in her memories of the past, and Lara is trapped in a world of glass animals. The last fundamental theme is the representation of the family, that means obligation and is symbolized in its statics and paralysis with the zoo. This game raises question of duty and responsibility toward other family members. It is the male's job to bring home the money, and the daughter must be pretty, polite, and get married. This is linked to the theme of the abandonment, as the father leaves the family behind, as Tom will when he is kicked out. Finally, the work also highlights the relationship between sister and brother, since Tom feels protective and then guilty toward his sister Laura. The main reason I analyze the Tennessee Williams play is the feeling left by the play I saw in my fourth year in high school. The actors had been so good and professional at conveying the thought and emotion of the character they were playing that I wanted to know more and to buy the final text with the production note. Reading it, I understood why the author worked so carefully on the screenplay. Every single element is thought and studied in detail to convey a certain emotion, such as the well-described setting, for example, the small apartment and the dim lights that immediately involve the reader in a feeling of claustrophobia, the same feelings that the character feels. Moreover, I personally think that this book deals with delicate and common themes for everyone, which seem trivial at first glance. In fact, the theme of the confinement in a static family, as well as the abandonment of one or more members of the family, are realities of nowadays, and this work offers us one of the main possible reactions to certain situations that can happen.